We can't say it's bumming because sometimes.
This is what
let's
I
be
mean.
honest. Being with the girl, even if it's not the right one. Wait, Kenny, calm down. That
boy got
So he said, I was like, yo, ain't no way he gonna justify capping himself down for 2 to 3 years. So.
I'm not
Go ahead.
But sometimes it just feels. Yo.
What you mean, bro?
What you gotta say, bro?
It feels like.
That's wicked, bro.
It feels pleasurable. So where, calm down,
Go ahead, say
I'm listening.
Say no tape. Yo,
I'm listening. Yo, these boys gang it up. Yo, this is Vlad versus the boys for real.
The top V.
The top V is crazy. Welcome to the Echo of Vlad Podcast, a few and a half deep conversations about life, God, relationship, tough topics, anything to come up with. But more than anything, having a real and honest conversation, dropping a few gems along the way. I'm here with session 4 of the boys series, Vlad versus the boys. Because this time, I've been disagreeing with them a lot. We're not going to sugarcoat a lot of things, but me, Kenny, me, Tim, me, Fred, we've been going back at it a little bit.
Of course.
But let me introduce y'all to the people. Fred?
Yo, we back at it again.
Rocking the boys in the hood.
Of course, boys in the hood. You know we in the hood.
All right. The first episode was actually boys to men, so peep that. Tim?
Yes, sir. What's good, y'all boys? Money Man Tim. Follow me on IG.
Kenny, go ahead.
That boy Kenny in the club. Y'all already know. Damn it, y'all. What's wrong with y'all niggas?
Sorry, y'all peoples. We gonna laugh each and every time. How y'all been this week?
You know what I'm saying? Tough week, but you know what I'm saying? We back there. We glad that the week is ending.
I had the biggest cold in life, but never fell on the Haitian remedies, man. They always get you back on your feet.
That thing tastes like
hey, they do not have a pleasant taste, but at the end of the day, they gonna put you on your feet though.
Yeah, you had the lube in my skin teeth though.
So what?
Rub it on the nose.
Rub it on the Vicks, kid. You gotta sniff the weird glow. You gotta sniff it. Whatnot.
I remember that thing where, like, when you were a child, like you got a cold, they rub the thing on your chest.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But that is a different thing now. Now you actually gotta put it in water and boil it, and then you sniff it.
Well, I know exactly what you're talking
about. And
that thing's strong, bro.
It clears your sinuses, bro. It works though. It works.
Yeah,
y'all sleeping on Haiti, dog. Y'all sleeping on Haiti.
Nah, Haiti got all the remedies, man.
When COVID was happening as well, everybody had onions in their crib. It was
what?
ridiculous.
In every corner of the room. I'm telling you, bro. It was crazy.
Bro. Yo. Kenny, how's your week?
Man, getting to the bag, bro. But it was a tough week, though. But we
Clearly.
still getting to the bag.
Clearly.
We see the drip. We see the...
Clearly getting to the bag, though.
Don't let the drip fool you.
Show the shoes on camera, though.
Lift
it up, show.
Lift your feet up, bro.
Hey, this is not a fashion show. This
ain't
is not
a
a
fashion show.
But, yos, we've been talking a lot these past 3 sessions, is session 4. We weren't initially going to have a session 4, but I decided it was like, there's a conversation I've been dying to have with you guys. And I told y'all about it, but we got to have it. I'm in the stage of life, like, I'm 22. I'm challenging myself as a guy, right? I'm constantly, like, thinking, what kind of man do I want to be in the future, right? And, I'm learning about a whole lot of different things. But one thing I keep seeing social media throughout life and different things that I want to actively avoid is cheating, right? Actively avoid cheating. But that always begs the question, to avoid it, I have to really understand it. I think all of us, if we were trying to avoid something, or you're trying to go towards something, you try to understand the road you got to take to get there, or to avoid that road. So I'm always asking my question, why do men cheat?
Dun, dun, dun.
Why do men cheat? That's a real question. Like, we make promises, but we don't break them. So we don't keep them. Mm-hmm. And I never want to put my girl or anybody I'm with in that position whatsoever. Not my girl, not my wife, none of that. Mm-hmm. And even though a lot of that comes with accountability, I always think on the front end, what am I supposed to do? Like, when I get in a relationship, how do I make sure I don't go down the road of cheating? What do you guys think about that?
That's tough. I say firstly, the simple thing is not putting yourself in situations where you can't cheat. That's one big thing. Like, I don't know personally. I've talked to somebody older than me who's been married for a long time. And I asked him, like, how you stay loyal to this girl for 18 plus years? And he was like, firstly, that's not in me. And secondly, I don't even give myself the opportunity to see that. see that side of me. So if I'm going out, I make sure I got people around me who are also married, who are also faithful, that can keep me in check, you know? If I'm too close to somebody, like pull me to the side, and I just know that them areas is not, I don't even think about that. So firstly, it's not putting yourself in those situations. That's the first thing.
All right, what y'all think?
I agree. I definitely agree with Fred on that. It's because if you know how you feel about this person, like you know within your heart that you really love this person, so why would you put yourself in an area where you know that it can be tested in a way? Mm-hmm. You wouldn't want that. And so the reason why I approached that person to begin with, why I wanted to getting to know that person to begin with, trying to create that bond, that relationship, and eventually start dating and loving her, all what I could put we talked about that before, yes. But I wouldn't want to, go and ruin that, knowing that there's those those people lurking around try to test what I got going on. Mm-hmm. So you got to stay grounded.
No, it's facts.
You got to stay grounded. Don't let it's like blind yourself, blind your surroundings, because at the end of the day you're gonna have those people. And then, not saying that's their fault. You can do it yourself too. You in the
relationship.
Yeah, you can be like, damn, I ain't gonna lie, she ain't gonna know that.
It really be like that.
But you don't want to do that, because at the end of the day you gotta respect yourself and you gotta respect her. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't do all that, man.
Kenny?
Man, touch on what Fred, touch on what Timo said.
Talk.
Touch on what Fred and what Timo said. Accountability is big, but I'll go a step further. Boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
You can't move the same way when you're single, when you're in a relationship. You just can't do it. And at the end of the day, the reason why, I think you made a very interesting point, like about the person that you were talking about that was married, that they go out with people who are married to keep themselves accountable in check. But at the end of the day too, you got to be careful what you entertain. Especially when you're around, like, depending on if you're with this girl so and so, you're around this specific type of chick, and all of a sudden you guys are not physically in the same spot no more, but you're out by herself, she's out by herself. Opportunity's going to present themselves. But at the end of the day, you have to, as a man, respect yourself to understand that the temptation may be there, but you don't have to act on it. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, communication.
I like that.
Communication. When things go wrong in a relationship, you bring that up to your spouse, or you bring that up to your boyfriend, you bring that to your girlfriend. You don't go to other people. When too much people are involved in your relationship, it could break. And that's when, because there's too many voices in your head, there's too many ears, there's too many input being done. That doesn't mean you don't seek counsel. But at the end of the day, any problem within the relationship should be solved between the couple. And I feel like that will solve a lot more problems in terms of cheating. But the reason why I feel like some guys, unfortunately, cheat, it's a lot of reasons. Number one, that they don't have the accountability. Right. Number two, the communication not there. And number three, unfortunately, is brokenness. And the reason I'm saying brokenness is that it's not an excuse. It's just the fact that there's some guys, unfortunately, they've been hurt by certain, females, whatnot, like and now they want to pass on the trauma to, other people, or in another case where it's a high for them.
Right.
It's like a drug. Mm-hmm. They want to be as much people what they can, just so they don't fully commit, but they want the benefits of a relationship, but they want that with several other people, which is, it will backfire, because eventually over time, I truly feel like any man at a certain point in time, they would want to settle down to a specific degree. But the problem is some men wait too long to do that, and then they want to be taken seriously. But you was taking all of these chicks as a joke, but now you're going to be taken seriously. That's going to backfire on you.
I get you.
That's all I got to say on that.
Thinking about this deeply, I came up with I came up with 3 branch reasons to cheating, right? And I say branch reason because it's like one branch leads to little things.
Little sub-branches.
Obviously. And the branches are, one, at least for men and stuff. We're talking about men opinion, men kind of perspective on this. Branch number 1, some dudes, they never wanted to be monogamous. They never wanted to be a committed relationship. And we're going to expand upon each and one of them, right? So the first one, they never wanted to be monogamous. The second one, it's a little bit heartbreaking, but they're with the wrong woman, or they're with somebody they don't really have a connection with.
Not with their counterpart.
They view her as a tool.
Yeah, they don't really have a connection with that person. And the third one, probably the most heartbreaking, is they're not being fulfilled by the person that they're with, and that could always branch off into different things. But even to touch on the first one, like, it's heartbreaking to say, and it's probably like, I'm not trying to be toxic or anything, but it's like, if a dude is not trying to be monogamous and he gets in a relationship, I'm like, yo, start the timer.
Start the timer.
So eventually it's gonna end.
Yeah, because it's like that urge, that feeling to go after different women. If you are not if you yourself are not silencing that urge yourself, if you're not controlling that yourself, and you just put in a situation, just let yourself be in a situation, it's going to, like, a matter of time before you fold. Same thing as a relationship. If a dude's not trying to be monogamous, which I'm not going to act like every dude is, but if they're not trying to be monogamous, it's only a matter of time before cheating happens. And it does take a degree of honesty with the girl that they're with. Don't y'all think?
That's what I'm saying. I just want to piggyback on what Kenny said. It all comes with communication.
Right.
Because you can't just go be, just lollygag around and do what you want. And just, like, leave the girl stranded here thinking that, oh, she's being loved, or she got the nigga of her dreams, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is everything that I hoped for. Right. Meanwhile, you're out here.
While the dude running through every single woman he sees.
This guy's going freaking putting his you know what in every.
We know how sex works.
And it's like, bro.
Well, no, we don't. Because we good.
I'm a virgin.
Hey, yo.
But yeah, at the end of the day, it's just like, it all comes to communication. If you know you want to be in a committed relationship with somebody, tell that to the person that you're trying to be with. Tell that to them. So at the end of the day, you guys can fully understand what you guys got going on and progress in the future. So for bigger and better things, there's no need to, like, just.
And I feel like you owe that to each other because you're both investing time.
Right.
So you at least owe them that bare minimum to let them know.
Honestly, what do you think?
I think self-awareness is really important. Like, the time you're in your life. Like, if you're young, say early 20s, and you know that you want some time to live your life throughout your whatever the heck you want to do.
And that's cool.
Yeah, that's
definitely
cool. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to run the streets. Be honest with yourself, but
and be honest with that person.
Be honest with that person, because running around doing whatever you want to do, it has like a negative connotation to it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
The society.
You're being ran through.
Yeah, you're being ran through. But it takes a certain level of self-understanding to know, all right, this is the time I'm in my life. I do not want to be in a monogamous relationship.
Yep.
I want to be single and do whatever. Don't feel ashamed of that. And then you feel ashamed. You're like, let me settle down with this girl. But inside, you want to be a little hoe. And it's okay.
It's definitely
okay to be a little hoe.
He's being a little, just a little hoe.
Just a little hoe.
Not that much hoe. Just a little.
A little Caesar salt hoe.
Just a tad bit.
I can't.
It's okay. You gotta be self-aware, and it goes for both sides too.
Both sides
too. Like,
we talked about the men's side.
We already talked about,
we already talked about the women in session 3. Go watch session 3 if you haven't seen it. Hey, we were talking wild in session 3.
That brought me to a very interesting question, but
go ahead. No, say the question.
So it's the gender reverse.
No, what? Don't.
That's
man.
So,
brother,
it also goes back to the end of the day as well too. Unfortunately, from what I've seen, when some men cheat, the women, some chicks still run back. How do y'all feel about that?
That's that blue face down.
Listen,
there's a lot of factors that go into. There's a lot of factors that go into it. Though. There's a lot of factors that
go into it. No smoke at the moment. Later in the life, but not this moment.
Remember what Kenny said?
Personally, I think it's the BWA.
Hey, the BWA go crazy.
I don't think so. I think it's
no. There's definitely more.
Like Kenny said in the first episode, one, ain't girl, but I know that. Some ain't girl, but I know that. It's a lot of factors that go into it.
Or some I've seen financial stability as well too. Like,
That's true.
Like for example, go ahead.
Those are.
But hey, Jay-Z cheated and Beyonce still went back. So, hey.
I mean, we don't know if it was just for the money or just for this, that, and the third. Remember, we said like 3 different types of cheating. We don't know what that was, so we can't really fully say.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna put anybody's out there.
What you mean? This is world news about Jay-Z.
I mean, it's not about that, but it's like each situation, because we don't know, it's different. We gotta count it as different. We could only speculate about different things, or we're gonna talk about the general things. But I want to move on to the second one, right? When a guy doesn't have a connection with the girl, It's heartbreaking.
And the girl knows that, right?
No,
or she don't know that.
They may not know it. They may not have addressed it, but just the vibe was so good. They never really checked for a connection. And it's heartbreaking to say it, but if they don't have a connection, you gotta start that timer. Because attraction to other people is gonna pull you in different directions. If you don't have a connection, it's eventually gonna pull like you on this side, she on that side, and another girl's on your side. And I always gotta check that about myself. It's like, okay, if I'm dealing with a person, I gotta make sure there's a connection because that makes the chances of doing something I'm not supposed to do goes up.
And if you don't, you gotta vocalize that. And it's not wrong to vocalize that. It's actually important to vocalize that.
And that's one thing I realized. All them branches that you named, it has a ground rule of just communication. Because everything everything has to do with communication. Because it's like, in order to have a strong connection, you gotta communicate. You gotta dissect each other's brain.
Your wants, your don't wants.
Exactly. That's the conversation that you guys have to have. It's like, at the end of the day, you're just not gonna be on the phone or be out and about. You could be on FaceTime and just watch the battery deplete and not say a word. That's good.
It's been like that.
It'd be like that. I'm not gonna lie, but instead of letting that happen, use that time that you guys are not with each other on the phone. Ask questions. Dissect each other's brains. Do, like you said, what you like, what you don't like. At the end of the day, it's just like, if you know what you want, just put in that effort. That's really what it is.
In my opinion, it's kind of coward to cheat on a girl when you don't have a connection with her, because that just shows that you have no level of communication.
That's what I'm saying.
The fact that you just run into somebody else,
and you're not trying at all.
You're not trying at all. Like
May I push back a little bit?
Go ahead.
Not saying I fully disagree,
Push back.
but I'm not gonna pretend like we all don't know. Relationships have their up and down. Even if you don't have a connection, they still have their ups and downs.
Absolutely.
Sometimes when it's down and you never checked if you guys have a connection, right? The relationship down, you're thinking this, that, and third happening, right? But you see like this opportunity becomes so like intoxicating to be in. Now it's like you like, all right, let me just see where this goes, or like I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna just be here. I'm gonna just chill this, that, and third. But you don't know like that lack of connection is pushing you towards something else. Not saying it's your responsibility, a man's responsibility if he buys that apple, but him not having that connection makes that situation just more easier to deal with. That's why I think that connection piece is just very like
crucial, very important.
Exactly. Because if you don't have that, it's like you can easily get lost in the sauce with somebody else when a relationship is down. Not lost in the sauce. Not lost in the sauce.
I guess my advice is for some women out there, and obviously it could apply for gender. It could be reverse as well too. Like, that's why you have to be self-sufficient when you're single. So when you do fall in a situation when you're cheated on, you don't have to stay. You're not forced to stay because of circumstances, because of financial instability, because you lack love. But you love yourself so much. You already so secure in yourself that if someone cheats, you could easily leave because you know who you are by yourself and you know what you bring.
I wouldn't say easily leave. I would say it's a choice. It's a conscious choice to stay. Not as in like, I don't got no out, so I got to be here. More like, I got a choice to leave, but if the person wants to stay, they see value in it, then that's it. That's the actual choice that they're making.
That's up to them. I can't.
But a lot of factors play into it. So
a lot of factors.
Like kids, you got kids with a certain person, how long you've been with them.
And what if you don't though?
If you don't, then
or some odd situations
where it is a little more easier if you ain't got kids.
Or some odd y'all both co-sign on the whip, kid. Y'all both on the lease, kid, for the APT. Come on, bro. Y'all both on the lease, bro.
Lease for the what? Mortgage?
You might damn credit low, buddy credit high. Oh. She got a co-sign. That's why she probably staying with kids.
So, you know.
Some situations get crazy.
You see what the Dodge boy do for the co-sign.
Yeah.
Imagine what the Dodge
But that is a good point. When you have more assets tied to each other,
that's
much difficult to make it a conscious decision.
And that's the reason why you gotta be self-sufficient on your own before you even get involved. That's the reason why I brought up that.
We're talking about basic relationships, not like
basic relationships. Not full on marriage. Like basic relationships.
We don't know what that's like.
Yeah.
So
Looking at the finger is crazy. That's kind of wild.
So he really said,
when is gonna be the day?
Yo.
That's tough. You the one that gotta propose though.
Hey yo.
When are you ready though?
nah, Kenny gonna get married first.
It's not.
It's a
about,
race?
It's not about Kenny.
So it's about
else.
timing.
It's a race?
No, it's not a race.
We don't really think we'll get married. Out of the four of us first.
We're on pause,
Timo.
right?
I knew it. Why?
Timo
Why?
for sure.
What?
We protecting the innocent, but Timo for sure. Timo,
Hey.
Yeah.
Vlad.
Hey.
Vlad
Nah,
before
it's
Kenny.
a tie between Vlad.
Vlad before Kenny.
Really?
I'm the youngest, so it's obviously gonna be me last.
Don't pull it.
I know people younger than me that are already married.
Yeah.
Good amount
That's
of
true.
too. So
So Timo number 1.
That's crazy. That's kind of crazy.
But yo, I think searching for that connection is like that key piece. But it could be like, it's almost, I'm not trying to justify the situation,
I know.
but it's like sometimes the vibe might be feeling good with the girl. You're like, of course do we have a connection. We didn't need to search for nothing. But it's like,
Let's say you
And they already think the connection is established because you have that vibe.
right,
What can it be more than that?
right.
Exactly. Then who knows? You at the club, liquid courage.
liquid courage.
Yeah.
The wrong decision. Oh,
Wrong decision.
That's crazy. But I want to touch on that last one, which is a bit more heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say it, but I'm going to go into different branches with it first.
Yes.
The last one was, you're not being fulfilled by the girl that you're with, right? And the different branches would be like, maybe it's a situational thing that you never prepared for. Maybe it's like this girl's neglecting you. Or even the last one, which is you have an insecurity as yourself, and that's breeding the more like distance between you guys. That's leading the opportunity. Do you think that has any weight to it?
Does she know about it?
yeah. If you're not communicating,
Yeah, you gotta
that,
communicate that.
You already said that. Communication is
And
key.
on that insecurity, which is why that's why I'm so big on. Before you even get back into dating, you have to heal.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, I feel like a lot of men haven't healed from some past relationships they've been in, and they pass on that hurt
Tough.
to like, you know the woman that they're with. That has nothing to do with it, and they don't realize until the damage is done. For some,
Yeah.
you know, but yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That time you single from a relationship is really, really important.
It's-
Like,
it's
you really
growth.
gotta take time and like, you gotta do some self-checking and rethinking. Like, yo, what happened between me and this person? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
If you start messing with somebody else unintentionally, you just gonna poop, throw all them things back right at them.
Yeah.
So it's like, you gotta be.
And the thing is like, when you're not ready and you found a person
Who is
that
ready?
that is ready and they're right for you, but you still have those same habits. You still have them walls up to the point that the person that is ready doesn't deserve what you're doing. To them. Doesn't deserve
Just
that
like
at all.
Face it, I'm like they took their time, they prepared, they
Exactly.
healed and all that,
Exactly.
and then you rushed into a new relationship when you wasn't even healed from the old one, or you didn't work on those toxic habits you had. It's not fair.
And now that person backs out and thinking that, oh, he's just not the one for me. Meanwhile, you're not ready, bro. Because how you gonna go back? You're gonna go back on the field and you still got bruises and scars.
You gotta heal, bro.
You didn't put no
You
stitches
didn't
on
go to the
you.
infirmary
But
once.
no fix on the road.
But we boys, we gotta be honest sometimes though. How we kind of raise, or not really raise, what we learn throughout life is that if you can't play through your hurt, then you're failing.
Facts.
Like if we all playing basketball right now, but one of us get hurt, we're not gonna want to talk about it because we don't want to mess up the good game.
But
So sometimes we realize as a man, or that mindset trickles into relationships where we might be hurt by something, but we don't want to ruin the vibe.
because you already had like a survival mentality.
Yeah, and we don't want to disappoint other people with our hurt. We don't want to disappoint somebody by saying, "Hey, I'm hurt. I'm not feeling that way." Or even back to the connection point. Hey, I don't feel the vibe is going really good right now, but we don't have a connection. I gotta cut this off right here. That takes some balls.
And I would feel like it also takes some balls to say like it's okay to admit that you're not okay. And I feel like back to the whole survival mentality, it's kind of breaking down. You brought up sports. If you're playing while you're injured, you're actually doing yourself a disservice because over time you're hurting that part of your body. It gets worse and worse.
Right.
And your recovery time that's supposed to probably take like a month will probably take like 5 or 6. So short term may be good, but in reality, you probably just damage yourself more than you were supposed to.
Yeah.
So that survival mentality could be very toxic. It's okay to relax, take a breather, recharge, and just admit you're not okay, but you're actively working on yourself to be okay again. You know.
Yeah, that analogy was perfect. Like, the more and more you keep going at it, when it's not healed, the longer the recovery is gonna take.
And not only that, you're a danger to her as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
100%.
Not even if it's just cheating, but like if you're playing through your hurt, or if you're acting like you're not when you are, you're a danger to her as well. Like even as we said in the first episode, if you're not willing to count your unchecked self, if you're not willing to count your unchecked self as a danger to other people, you're a liability. If you can't check yourself, you're a liability. And I think that's something we as guys, we got to get through our heads, because we might be leaders, we might be brothers, we might be like siblings to other people, we might be fathers, we're gonna be husbands in the future. But we gotta make sure that we count ourselves, we can check ourselves on our stuff, because we're not perfect. But yo, I love where this conversation going. Let's go to commercial real quick, because I got a question that I want to ask y'all boys. Let's go to commercial. Let's stop wasting time, yo. Let's go. Hold up, let me stop you for a moment. Did you know that the Echo of Vlad Podcast is now verified on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google? Yes, so if you're not more of the visual type, you can catch me whenever you're driving, working out, or cooking up some eggs. Just go to wherever you listen to podcasts and type in Echo of Vlad, and you'll see us over there. All right, so we're back. We are back. We've been talking about this, about cheating, right?
Right.
When you don't have a connection or like that insecurity, we've been saying that, yo, it's on the guy, right? It's on the guy to make sure he can check himself in those situations. He make sure he's good enough for the situation that he's in, or even not to push that situation farther than it needs to go, so he's not a threat to his girl, to the people he's around. But there's the other situation where it kind of blends into the not a connection part, but when she
Keeps nagging them.
not this man,
I'm
this man kidding.
I'm just trying to see.
Like when she's neglecting, right? Do you think, of course, you know, it's on the guy, but you talking about enabling? Like if I can imagine if you flip the role around, right? If I'm neglecting my girl, if I know she got emotional, mental, physical needs that she has, right? But I'm just like, yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't care about that whatsoever. Like,
Not caring about.
I know I'm pushing her in that direction where it's like it'll be favorable to do it.
This is what I gotta say about that, right?
And I'm not we're not gonna talk about the girl that's
Yeah.
No.
about flipping it. Like if the girl's like, nah, I don't care about you, no needs at all.
So it's like, so you're saying if the woman's at fault,
Yeah.
pretty much.
The woman's at fault.
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking.
That's the point.
We can talk about if the guy was at fault.
We're talking,
not-
we're talking about like she's neglecting you.
She's neglecting you.
It's
Goes
still
back. It all goes back to Timo's original point. Did I communicate that?
true.
And if I did communicate that, and she's still doing that, am I gonna tolerate it, or I'm gonna say, give my 3 strikes, and then I bounce? And my 3 strikes, like, can it be fixed? Can it be fixed at just a certain amount of time? And if it can't, and you realize it's a continuous problem, and you bring it up again, you gotta bounce. Because at that point, the person clearly know what the problem is. They clearly don't want to fix it, and you're suffering as a result. So instead of you going the route of cheating, disrespecting yourself, and disrespecting the aspect of your relationship, because whether you're liking or people are looking at you, and I don't mean by other people. I mean like you may have nieces, you may have nephews. They're looking up to you in a certain type of way, and if they see like, dang, this is how Uncle so and so handled this, how Uncle so and so handled that, and you may be hiding it, but it may come like in different ways you handle yourself throughout the week or whatever. Like those little habits start to show. Like it goes back to that survival mentality y'all talked about.
Right.
The fact that I'm used to powering through this, powering through that. When I'm going through a situation where I'm not treated well, I'm gonna try to power through that as well. When sometimes a no is a no, and there's a cutoff point. So I feel like if you communicate that and it's a continuous problem, you made the effort, you both made the effort to fix, and let's just say she still doesn't want to, change or whatever, or you try to make an effort and she doesn't, you gotta wash your hands with it, bro. You gotta wash your hands instead of going the route of cheating and making something bigger than what it is. Because cheating come with consequences, whether you feel justified or not. It had come with big consequences,
whether you know it or not.
Whether you know it or not, that's a better way to put it.
That's
Yeah,
a really good point. That's big on that. Cheating come with consequences. Like, it do.
That's so much work, bro. That's so much work.
Like,
just talk to the dumb.
Hold on. We not
and
gonna
if
act
you
like
don't
it's
want
always
to,
easy.
but you gotta do it.
it's not always easy.
It's not always
It depends
easy.
on it, but you gotta do it.
Yeah, you
There's
gotta-
a-
Relationships themselves are not easy.
at all. Like
So-
that's like you gotta
They're
say,
not.
like I use this analogy of, like somebody told me this analogy, which is really powerful. I said, like, let's say you date a girl now at 18 years old and you married her until she's 38.
Katie's
The
not
one-
18.
This analogy, the woman that you first married at 18 years old is not going to be the woman that you're married to at 38.
Yeah.
Everybody's evolving, everybody's changing, so you have to
To
be
death do us apart, right?
to death do us part. So you have to be, as a man, you have to be okay with, all right, she's changing in this way. I want to learn this new thing about her, or I'm changing this way. You have to have a woman who's okay with you changing and evolving, becoming the better man or a better version of yourself.
And to talk about that, if you're not constantly willing to grow within your relationship, can you really call it a relationship at the end of the day?
Exactly.
A relationship is for both you guys to grow. Both sides should not be the same at the start of the relationship, years after. Because that means time is being wasted, effort is being wasted, and no real grooming on both ends is being done. What are you working towards? Because people are like, oh, I'm just seeing how things go. You got that much time to pass? Shoot, we only got 24 hours in a day.
Yeah,
So
You sleep for
if
sex.
you sleep for lucky if you sleep for 6. So
you made me think about something I was thinking about the other day. Like, people have like meantime relationships. Like, yeah, I think 5 feels good with this person, this, that, and the third. Feels good. We're gonna see where it goes. We're not gonna put a label on it whatsoever. But I'm like, yo, the less you're like very intentional about it, the more chances it is to step out of a relationship. Because you never really define like, okay, this person is the right person for me, and I'm gonna try to make this person the right person for me in these scenarios, or not 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, 5 years down the line. People's like, yeah, I'll be in a relationship right now. I don't know where it's gonna go, and I'm like, you playing a dangerous game because it's your feelings, it's a girl feelings, and your feelings. Say something happened, it's a low point in the relationship. It's not justifying it, but it makes it more flavorable, more optimistic, more like it's like you on a diet.
this
right?
is after the whole dating. This is when the relationship is official. That I just want to make sure that's clear.
Either
not
or.
getting to know,
Either-
not past all that.
Either
Or
or.
even before, even during that. Okay.
Either or. It's like a person goes on a diet for no reason, right? They don't really know the reason they're on a diet.
No, that's you can't say it like that.
But it's
rough.
like that, like
It's a trend. I want to do
that
it.
piece of chicken from Popeyes. You know you're not supposed to be doing it, but you're on this diet for no real reason.
There's
You're
no
just doing
discipline
it-
to keep you.
You just
set, yeah.
Exactly. So it's like count down.
You
the
have no
timer.
why. You have no why.
That
Exactly.
chicken sandwich is spicy. Yo, give me that.
I'm gonna let that chicken sandwich. That'd be good. Not saying I'm shit. Not saying none of that's happening. Don't look at me like that.
So eating the chicken sandwich, yo.
Yeah. Don't look at me like
Hey,
that.
eating chicken sandwiches, big?
Hey,
Let's
that's
eat
what
it,
I'm
eat
going
it.
to. But that's the thing, though. Knowing your why in a relationship, or know that person that you're with, like being intentional about it. Like for me, I'd hate to be 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down in a relationship and be like, yeah, I was never gonna marry this girl from the start. It's heartbreaking, but I never want to be in that position saying that to myself.
You just gotta be honest with yourself.
Gotta be honest.
You just gotta be honest with yourself. You gotta be honest with the person, be honest with yourself. Because at the end of the time, you're not only wasting her time, you're wasting your time. Because if you know we're just here for a good time, I ain't gonna lie. The amount of effort you gotta put in to cap 2, 3, 5 years,
It's crazy.
it's crazy.
It's crazy.
You a
Whoa,
bum. Like
That's
you
more.
a
That's
bum,
more
bro.
effort than just.
Being in a real
Honest.
relationship.
Like you have nothing better to do. Like that's bummy to me, bruh.
Yeah.
That's
Bro.
bummy.
Well, wait. We can't say it's bumming because sometimes.
This is what
Let's
I
be
mean.
honest. Being with the girl, even if it's not the right one. Wait, Kenny, calm down. Calm down.
That boy got.
So he said, I was like, yo, ain't no way he gonna justify
I'm not just.
capping himself down for 2 to 3 years. So.
I'm not.
Go ahead.
But
Say what you-
sometimes it just feels. Yo.
Oh, what you mean, bro?
say what you gotta say, bro.
It feels like
That's wicked, bro.
It feels pleasurable. So where, calm down,
Yeah,
dog.
go ahead.
I'm listening.
Say no tape. Yo,
I'm listening.
Yo, these boys gang it up. Yo, this is Vlad versus the boys for real.
The top V.
The top beat is crazy. I'm saying, guys get lost in the sauce when it's pleasurable, like to be with this girl. Even if you don't really check for a connection, the vibes feel good. The how you feel with each other feels good at the moment. For some people, the sex feels good for the moment. It's like I could see a dude saying to himself, "It feels good, so it should be good, right?" But never checking, okay, am I actually intentional about being there? That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm not trying to say. Like dudes are just like trying to be crazy out here or just trying to cap. They get lost in the sauce all the time. Dudes get lost in the sauce all the time.
It's easy.
And then next thing you know, 2 years down the relationship, 3 years down the relationship, 5 years down the relationship. Yeah, I was never gonna, marry this girl, but I don't want to break it off to break her heart. This, that, I built up the relationship.
But that's
And
also
then that girl that you never really thought you'd see yourself with start giving you some attention, but you don't want to break that other girl's heart that you have right there. Next thing you know, you're in a position like you have this girl you think you want, but you with this girl you know you don't want. Now I gotta break somebody's heart. Or I could just let the situation define it. I could see a dude going through that situation.
But I feel like that mostly, and I use the word mostly because, like, there's some anomalies in the world. There's some special cases. I feel like that mostly applied to men that have no purpose, bro. When you have a purpose and you know your purpose, you know at the end of the day, the woman that's going to be on your right side, it can't just be anybody. Because number one, this is someone you're going to build this dynasty with, or that's going to prevent you from even making the dynasty altogether. And it's like, as you're growing as a man, you're going to want that certain level of support. And I feel like if you're going to intentionally waste or getting lost in the sauce, number one, it's disrespectful to her in the sense that she just went through all that time, all that healing, all that effort just to be with the man that doesn't even know what he wants. And the reason I went the bummy route, I say, that's straight bummy. Kid, you put all this time and all this effort to fooling this woman, right?
You're not trying to fool them, just the vibe feel good, Kenny.
But I feel like because you have no purpose, the men have no purpose, bro.
Right.
If I have a purpose, I ain't gonna waste my time and get lost in no vibes. We got stuff to do, we got stuff to handle. We got goals to reach. And it's not even just money, it's just personal development goals as well too. Like, bro, like there's certain things you want to accomplish, there's certain mindset you want to have, a certain physique you probably want to have as well too. You probably want to change your diet for real. And like at the end of the day, you want to help her do the same thing. So to get lost in the sauce and stuff like that, I feel like is a man that you shouldn't take seriously, bro. Because like if it takes you that easy to get lost in the sauce, what else you gonna get lost in the sauce in?
That's true.
You're gonna fall for any little gimmick on the planet.
That's true. I think some dudes, like, it's always a question. Are you living your life for pleasure or purpose? Like, if you're trying to be, like, really intentional about your relationship.
You could do both. You could do both.
Yeah. But, like, what is the mostly? Like, even when we say with the elements, right? What are you mostly trying to do?
Yeah.
Live your life to be as purposeful as possible or pleasurable as possible? Because cheating in that moment might feel pleasurable as possible.
Oh, that's what you mean.
But if you're in the habit of being purposeful with your life.
It will lead, I feel like, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
It's not going to make the cheating less pleasurable, but it's going to say, okay, I know I'm denying this pleasure for that moment.
And I feel like at the end of the day, when you're truly purposeful, it will lead to true pleasure at the end of the day. Your relationship will truly blossom. Opposed to the fake pleasure you wanted when you just wanted to just cheat or get a quick one-night stand and run back. Like at the end of the day, it's false. It's fake. It's fugazi. So,
I feel you. Tell me about to say something before. But I know Kenny just said something good. Hey, come here, dog.
That was a good dab up.
It's just a little strong.
Can't say
I wanted to touch back. I forgot where we had this conversation at, but when you were with somebody just for
a good time, not a long time.
Exactly. Can it convert to a long time? Can it convert to a long time?
In some,
wait.
There's some special cases.
Wait. Should you bet all your life savings in roulette?
Hell no.
Wait, what you mean bet on my life savings?
Bet all your life savings on roulette. No. Could it happen?
It could happen.
It can.
Could it happen? But should you put all your life savings in roulette?
Negative.
But you test out a little $100. See how that goes.
Hold up, what?
And roulette, you test out a little money, see how that goes.
I get you. So we touched on this last podcast, last session 3, with the guys are like, okay, the girls for relationships, the girl for a good time, not a long time, the girl for sex. There are cases where a girl for the good time, not a long time, or the girl for sex turned into the girl relationship. I'm not negating anybody's situation.
There's certain cases.
But out of 8 billion people in the world that
she didn't know that though. Like you went in with the,
hold on.
You all right? You. I'm just saying.
Oh! I thought you was. My bad.
I'm just saying. You went in with the mindset that I'm just gonna vibe with them, not to have no relationship. But then at the end of the day, or after some time of communicating, you realize that she's the missing piece that you needed all along.
It can't happen.
Here's the thing about relationships. A really important factor is timing. Like, timing is a factor that we really don't understand. Like, sometimes, I know it sounds kind of cliche, but sometimes you meet the right person at the wrong time.
We talked about it. Absolutely. It's like Timo touched upon, like, the person is, the person for you is ready, but you yourself, you're not ready because you rushed. There's plenty
of situations like that. So let's say y'all having y'all fun time, not a long time. Y'all both young, but let's say the years go by, y'all both get a career or whatever, and timing works out, and you figure out, this is the person for me. Mm-hmm. Then it could work like that. But I don't.
Here's the danger of it. Here's the danger of it. I like to say. I call it, you almost fall into relationship nepotism, right? That's what I like to call it. Where it's like, you don't really make a person, like in a guy's case, you don't really have the idea of a wife that will fit your life. You craft your idea of a wife around this person. Mm-hmm. So she acts this way, so I'm going to accept that into what I think a wife is going to be. Rather than, does she fit what I actually want in a wife? What I want in a wife-like figure or girlfriend whatsoever.
Some guys don't want to reach that far though.
I get you, but as we said, when you get lost in the sauce, when the vibe is feeling so good with this girl, when the sex is feeling so good with this girl, it's easy to justify some things that, hey, I mean, I could let it slide.
That's what I'm
the
like.
BWA so good, you could let it slide.
That's crazy. That's tough.
As crazy as this
that's what I'm saying.
You have to think with the right head, bro.
Right.
That's
so do you bet all your life savings on roulette? It could happen.
And to touch on that part, that's why I feel like it's also dangerous to be a desperate man, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you're no different than a dog wanting for a slab of meat. And what I mean by that, whatever comes
wait. Pause.
Come on, hood. That was a dog analogy, bro. We would all gonna let it slide,
Pause. I'm not gonna have these viewers looking at me crazy.
I'm about to elaborate.
Pause on the play for all of Echo of Vlad production, please.
He said pause.
But go ahead. You say you want to be...
You don't want to be a dog. You don't want to be like a dog waiting for any piece of meat that comes your way. And what I mean by that is that when you're a desperate man, you just want to get in a relationship, just to get in, just to feel that temporary pleasure, or to feel not even that pleasure, just that void of loneliness, and that's dangerous. It all goes back to what I was saying about the whole self-sufficiency. You have to, even to talk about the part like being young. I feel like it's really important to start preparing yourself when you're young, especially when you're young.
Yeah.
So. And now what if that was tweaked up a little bit though?
What you mean?
All right, so you're saying that you can fill in a void of loneliness.
I feel like it's dangerous to be so desperate that you're trying to find anybody to fill that void.
What I'm saying, all right, so now what if you got so used to being by yourself, and you wanted to go talk to somebody, knowing that you still got the habits of being by yourself. For example, all right, cool, you don't talk every day. You
take things slow. You gotta take things slow, and you gotta let the person know that
you gotta decide that's the step that you want to take.
Yeah, right.
Like
he says something. You get used to that loneliness. You get used to feeling like you don't need nobody. Right? That's what you're saying.
And he still went and then go talk to somebody.
I say that's dangerous too. Yeah. Because even though you half-hearted with it. Like it's like, I want something to eat. I don't want the most exquisite thing because I don't really care about being eating much. So I'm gonna just go to McDonald's instead of going to that 5-star restaurant you've been trying to get to, but you just convince yourself you're not hungry.
And on top of that, if you are gonna go that route and you take things slow, you can't blame the person if they want to stop things altogether because you're taking things way too slow. Because I think that a relationship is two ways. You may want to take things slow as well too, but the person may be ready to hop in. But because, like we said, you've been used to that person been used to the loneliness for so long that The other person just don't want to wait on them.
Yeah, but there's time for everything though. It's not really taking it slow. If you go on 30 miles on the highway, are you taking it slow?
Hell yeah.
But are you taking it slow or are you taking it too slow?
Take it way too
30 miles in like...
Oh, you saying like there's an extreme?
Yeah, 30 miles on a basic
of course.
street, that's like average, right? Mm-hmm. But 30 miles on I-95?
You get honked up, bro.
Exactly. Like, get speed up, dog.
I'll hop on my car and give you a Zoclo, bro.
But that's the thing, though. I think when people call it like taking it slow or whatsoever, when they have no real reason to, it's more of an insecurity lacking by it.
And that's what I'm
Not
saying.
to
You
call
gotta
anybody
bring that
out,
up to the person, but I also that if the person decides to like, I don't want to do this anymore, you can't blame them.
You gotta be okay with that.
That's what you have to be okay with that. That's what I meant by that.
That's true. That's true. Fred, you said something that we had this conversation before, but we gotta bring it back because I didn't plan it, but you said it. I didn't want to have this conversation, but you said it. You put it out there. You talking about right person, wrong time, which we've had our disagreements about this phrase. But before we say anything about that, let's go to commercial one more time, and we're gonna get back to this because this is gonna really be Vlad versus the boys. Are y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let's go to commercial real quick.
Did you know that the Echo of Vlad podcast is now verified on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google? Yeah, so that means you're able to catch me everywhere you listen. To get the latest episode, go to wherever you listen to podcasts, type in Echo of Vlad, and you'll see us over there. For any comments or questions, send a DM to @EchoofVlad_ on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok, or even email us at echoofvlad@gmail.com. Let's stop wasting time.
Yo, we are back. we back. And Fred launched us into a discussion that we just gonna have.
Yes, sir.
Do you believe in... Come in the frame real quick.
Yes, sir.
Alright, bet. Do you believe in right person, wrong time?
Absolutely. How about y'all boys?
Correct.
100%.
Vlad versus the boys for real, right? It's not that I don't believe in it. I think it's dangerous to say it in foresight. If you have hindsight where it's like, okay, past everything you've been through, yeah, that's okay to say it. But in like, while you single, I think it's dangerous to say. Or dangerous to kind of believe in.
Go ahead.
The reason why I'm saying I agree because there's not always going to... I am of the notion there's not only just one right person out of all the people we have on this planet. There's gonna be there's multiple chances for the right person. That doesn't mean that doesn't mean you should take it for granted. And to touch back on the point, right person, wrong time is that I'm gonna just go the route you did not want to heal. You went the rest like, dang, you know what, this didn't work out, and it was a dime, it was a chick, it wasn't me. Hop back in, and then you realize like, wow, I found the right one, and then you start to see certain things you do in a relationship. Dang, you're not communicating. You're easily triggered. You're easily angered and all that different type of stuff. You're quick to shut down, and then you push her away.
Sure.
And she was the right person, taking her time. She was patient with you and all that. But at certain points, even the most patient person has a limit, and then you push that person away. Do you disagree with that point?
I don't disagree with that point. I don't disagree with that
But
point.
she was the right person for you at the time. But you pushed her. Right
you
person.
because
She
you
was the
wanted
right person, but it was the wrong time because you
Right.
pushed her away. You rushed it.
I get you.
That's what I meant.
In my eyes, and what I'm thinking, the right person can't be the right person if they don't choose you. And that goes on both sides. If she thinks I'm the right person, but I'm not choosing her, then I can't be the right person. If she's choosing me, but I'm choosing her at the same time, that's the right person.
For sure.
But, you know, people have their version of it. They say, like, right person, wrong version, right person, wrong time. It's the same thing
But all falls in the same umbrella.
Right. I'm not saying I don't believe in it, but I'm saying I wouldn't say it because I know that, even as guys, the fixation can come in. Like the fixation on something that might not actually work before. You might have a flawed view of it. Or just fixation that might push you away from other people. At least, let's be honest as guys. You'll think that girl's the right time, the right person, but the wrong time. But is that going to stop you from messing with other girls? And then fall into other relationship, possibly, things?
And that's
while you're thinking that other person the right
but
person?
also that's
So you're giving half-hearted effort.
but that's just the wrong time though. That goes back to that because
Who's
like
to
you
say it's the wrong time?
because you just made it because you found the right person, but you want to still mess around with everybody else when you have
I'm
the
talking
right
about after.
So that's around time.
Here's-
You ain't
around
ready.
time.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll give this analogy. Let's say I say right person, wrong time. In order for the right time to come, the first relationship matters. How it started, the reasoning behind the breakup, and how it ended. Let's say a tragedy happened in between the breakup. Let's say something happened to her, or something happened to you, or this thing was off. But y'all ended off on mutual terms with a pure love and respect for each other. But you doing your own thing, she doing her own thing. Y'all move away, whatever. Woo, 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 woo.
It sound Disney though, but keep going. It
Disney.
sound Disney.
That sound
Keep going.
Disney.
It sounds Disney,
It sound
but
Disney.
let's say somebody cheat, right? Or something like that. But it ends off, let's say you're young, you cheat on this girl, woo woo, but y'all end off mutual love, mutual respect. 10 years down the line, whatever happens, y'all come to terms that y'all find new love for each other. Y'all both knew in a sense that maybe this could work out. But to your point, it's good to have the mindset of not allowing the theme of fixation, like not to hop back in a situation that you know deep down you shouldn't be in.
To touch on his point a bit, I feel like to a degree you have control of when it will be the right time as well too. You don't want to, and I feel like as men, you don't want to be like, I'm gonna just let things vibe. It is what. No, I hate the term "it is what," because to a certain degree, it's like you're giving up that accountability to a degree. You're just relying on time. But as a man, I feel like you have to. You're the pursuer. Whether we like, you are the pursuer. So you set the conditions up. You set those conditions up, which also means to a degree you do set up the opportunity to make that right time. You can't fully 100% control it, but you can set at least a good amount of conditions to make it a lot easier to have the right time when you find the right person.
True. Tim?
I'm just saying, don't go ahead and just, lie to yourself and try to play with somebody's heart, knowing that they're here for you. They're here with you through everything that you got going on within your life. And then at the end of the day, you just realize, I ain't want it for real. I ain't want it for real. So now, like you said, now you're in the wrong timing because you're out here gonna do something else with other people, and then now you're not fully,
invested.
You're not fully invested. Exactly. You're giving half effort.
Right.
That's why I'm saying I don't like when people say it's a 50-50. You're supposed to give 100.
Right.
You're both supposed to give 100. So at the end of the day, you both putting your foot ground. So that's why I feel like you got to be grounded in what you want. So that's why at the end of the day, when you try to pursue somebody, you got to make sure that this is the best version of you. Because at the end of the day, that's what they want to see. The best version of you. It may take some time.
Side topic, do you ever think you ever reach the best version
That's
of yourself?
exactly what I was going to
I was about to say, like,
it's just like,
I don't.
okay,
I think the whole point of being a human is trying to reach that.
I do.
Wait.
Oh,
Personal story, right? I literally, every single situation with the girl, it only ended because I lacked initiative. I lacked initiative because I was waiting for myself to get to this perfect point. Every single girl, I was waiting for myself to get to this perfect point to where, okay, I have the ultimate green light from every single corner of the earth that, okay, I'm ready for this. I'm fully ready for this. Do you think you ever, like you said, do you think you ever reached that point?
I do feel like I wouldn't say the best version of you, but I do feel like there's a bare minimum baseline of you satisfied with yourself. Yeah. But you will always grow from there. But I feel like there is a bare minimum of where you will be satisfied with yourself to start. That doesn't mean it's the best version of you, but that's like at least the bare minimum. You can at least
version that you're satisfied with.
Exactly, you're satisfied. There's a bare minimum though.
I feel you.
But if we talking about personal things, the reason why I believe in right person, wrong time, because every situation that's been the common thing. So I meet the right person, but it's the wrong time. So I'm kind of used to that. That's the reason why I'm so. You know what I'm saying?
So you say Cap?
No. I'm definitely with him on that.
Like I've always met good person, met on all cylinders, but just timing was just awful. That was the only thing. That's
like
that's
something that person that probably going on your own life that had nothing to do with like
my own life, her own life, or just different things
that
pop up.
I feel you, but I know for me, I always get in the mood or the mode of beating myself up with that, right? Like there's time I've literally said to myself, "Dang, I'm not perfect yet. Let me wait. Let me wait some time. Then let me wait some more time.
It's contemplating.
Exactly. This they call it like analysis paralysis, right? Do you think we guys could get that a lot? Even when we feel like we found a relationship that could be like extremely healthy, we just don't It's that imposter syndrome.
But it's that. This is a trait that you have. Not to call you out on it, but you're a perfectionist.
This guy.
But you know you're a perfectionist.
But
so that's a trait that could be leading on to those situations.
But I also feel like it's for more men. It's a lot more common than we realize, and because I feel like a lot of men as well too. They want to be eventually that alpha male, whatever they want to be, and eventually they want to be that whole leader in their household. That they don't want to be viewed as a statistic that failed. So that's they probably are so obsessed to really be that quote unquote perfect version because they don't want to be part of that status quo that failed to actually do good.
The alpha male thing can be really tricky at times.
It really can.
Because
because it's associated.
Yeah.
It can be associated with toxic masculinity.
Which I don't believe in the phrase, but wait. But I like what you guys put that together because it ties back to what we said at the start. Because as guys, we grow up if you admit that you hurt, the game is over. Not only that, if we playing football as kids, right? One of us gets hurt and we gotta start crying. Hey, pack it up. We all gotta stop playing. Just out and third. We grow up with that mindset of.
That's what I'm saying.
I can't admit when I'm hurt, not because I'm just trying to be bravado.
That's what I'm saying.
I admit that I'm hurt. Everybody else feels. Everybody else is having a bad time now. We're having a good time, but I messed around, got hurt, and now I gotta admit to other people. Why don't just play through that?
But then again, it's not fair to them. It's they only celebrate you when you up, but they can't help you out when you down. They the people who really care about you. They're not gonna like that. I'm like, dang, it's not fair, And I feel like if you truly love those people, you got to let them in when you are feeling hurt as a man and stuff like that.
But that just comes with maturity. What I'm saying? As a kid, you're not gonna let people in when you hurt.
No, yeah, but when you reach a certain age or to a degree, yeah, that's what I mean.
But everybody got their scars. You never know. Somebody would have said something to you in this situation, or somebody. So now you kind of closed off from everyone. Mm-hmm. But that just comes with becoming a better version of yourself.
I agree because I'm not gonna lie, that's a problem I did have because the point where there were some things that oh snap, I was about to go through I was about to go through that.
Keep it overview.
But I'm just saying it's you let so many things happen or you have so many emotions going within yourself and the person don't even know that.
Right, bro.
And you having a vibe and time, and the person don't even know that you closet inside.
Yo.
And then when you mention it, she's looking at you like, what?
That's I ain't gonna lie to you. I can't even find girls on that.
Yeah, exactly. It's not their fault. It's just
when you hold things in, when it finally comes out, it's literally a bomb.
That's why it's wrong to hold it in. You gotta build it, but it's not something that's done overnight. You have to, and that's when you had to start early on because if you wait till like you said till it bubbles up, it could be a catastrophe. But that's when as soon as it's like you're waiting. It's like cancer, for example. You attack it early on. You wait too long, it's too late. It's the same thing when it comes to your emotions.
But sometimes with cancer, you don't notice it until it's in the later stages.
You don't know.
That's time.
But you don't.
Wait. Checkups though.
Yeah,
checkups.
That's the start.
But how many times? It's so common, especially in our community, for people to neglect checkups. I don't feel like going to the hospital.
That don't make it right.
It don't make it right, but that's something that just happened.
And it's not even just, and to bring it back to what we're talking about, I wouldn't even just say physical checkup, emotional check-ins as well too. How are you feeling today? What's going on? Keeping it genuine.
I was watching something about that on TikTok actually. There was this couple every Thursday. They will have a conversation, just like a check-in conversation.
Exactly.
To see how they're feeling emotionally. They were a Christian couple. So they'll involve spiritual stuff in aspect, and they'll just check in. Because at the end of the day, you could be under the same roof with the person, but at the end of the day, you don't know what's going on in that person's head.
Yeah.
So it's just every week they have just this checkup where they just talk about everything and just let all the feelings.
I've heard about.
And on top of that, if someone doesn't want to, I saw you. Go ahead.
But the point is, you got to remember, a lot of us have a set idea of what marriage is, and you got to remember, your marriage is your marriage. Your partner is your partner. What works for you works for you. Mm-hmm. So if that mental day works out every Tuesday, then do that mental day. Don't feel shame of taking the time out and speaking with your woman. Mm-hmm. And secondly, you have to feel comfortable with your woman. You're speaking about doing it at a young age. Some of us don't cross paths with women that we feel comfortable being emotionally.
No, 100%. But what I mean by young age, I mean you working on yourself individually before you get to that.
Even if you work on yourself, ain't nothing like the real.
No, of course, 100%.
We've all played basketball. Here we practice.
Yeah,
we get
100%. No, obviously, yeah, right. But you gotta have some bare minimum qualities.
Yeah,
that's why it's necessary.
But also, like with the whole blow up into a bomb, how many times have there been men, not us, where you've seen where women have complained and been like, he nagging too much. He's always talking about
that ain't the right one. That ain't the right one.
And then and imagine a man goes through that. He like, that's why I'm keeping these things in.
That's what the healing is necessary to. You can't rush back to a new relationship though.
Wait. Because we kind of alluded to it in the basketball game. It's not just us playing against a whole other team. We got teammates. We got accountability.
We got coaches.
Then we got coaches. Our partner is not our therapist. Our partner is not our charity case.
Exactly.
Our partner is not our, is not an evangelist to us. Our partner is our accountability partner. So if we gotta have like real conversation with this girl, and that goes back to being intentional about her. Like, yo, if I can't have I can't tell you like, yo, you got on my nerves last week, like.
Without her trying to throw it back in your face.
Exactly.
Or throw
that's the reason.
Or use it again.
You gotta be very careful who you with.
And that comes with like that intentionality. Like, yo, I never want to be like 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years down the relationship and like I never did no check-ins. I never did any of this. I really don't even know if I was gonna take this girl seriously to be married with.
Yeah, that's tough. I can't waste time like that at all.
I wouldn't be able to sleep at night, bro. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. I'm not even gonna lie.
That's a large part of accountability, and even with me and my growth as a man, right? Constantly checking myself on these scenarios or things that I'm looking forward to the future, things I want to be with. It comes with accountability. It comes with people I'm like constantly feeding myself around, which is you guys. Y'all the boys. Y'all my peoples. Like for real. Although this is Vlad versus boys, it's like always challenge each other on things that we believe in, things we always talk about whatsoever. And even this conversation, y'all brought, like, for you telling me I'm a perfectionist. Even you guys telling me, like, things you got to be checking in and stuff like that. These are constant conversations we have, or that we need to have to make sure we're not in that spot where it's like cheating is the most flavorable option whatsoever.
Yeah. Like I was saying, accountability is important. You got to have a brotherhood of boys who can check you and make sure. Let's say we all out.
That doesn't co-sign your BS.
Let's say we all out and somebody got a dumb. We all know we're going to look at you. If you talking to them, we're going to check you like, yo, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? That accountability, that brotherhood is important.
It's not good to have a bunch of yes
men around you.
Exactly, bro.
That's what I'm saying. You got to have those people that's gonna point you on your BS. Like if I go do some VS stuff, I know y'all boys gonna be like, yo, Timo, what the hell are you doing? Exactly. It's like, I know Fred is gonna be like, bro, what are you doing?
You might get a paragraph from me.
Yeah. Kenny, I know Kenny's gonna say something.
Bible verse at the end. Phone is like, yo, what is you doing, my boy?
Bible verse at the end.
It's not good. Exactly, bro. It's not good to have a bunch of yes men around you because you're gonna feel like, all right, what I'm doing is cool. But I say less. Them boys with me. All right, cool. Phone drop. Them boys with me. All right, bet we gonna do this. But nah, at the end of the day, it's like you need those people that's gonna point you out in your BS. So at the end of the day, you know how to move forward.
You're not growing as a man.
Exactly. You're not growing as a man if you just gonna stay in the same route the whole time. So it's just like, nah, bro.
Yo, this has been some awesome convos with your boys.
No,
I'm gonna bring y'all back because this is Vlad versus boys, but these are my boys. These are like the guys who are challenging me. These are my boys. These are my partners. My ride or dies. If I'm getting in trouble, they down with me.
What? Hold on.
No.
You money about
If I say anything crazy on the internet, they with me as well. You feel me?
You got that.
If I get canceled, they with me as well.
The words of Vlad are the words of Vlad.
Yeah.
No cap.
Hey man, but yo, thank y'all boys for coming on. For real, I'm gonna bring y'all boys back.
100%, bro. 100%.
These conversations been lit. Me and Kenny, we go back and forth. But yo, these my people. These guys are holding me accountable. These guys are completely instructional. I don't even know if that's a word, but
instructional. Use to sorcerer's terms. To sorcerer's terms.
But these are my boys. These are people who like gonna help me become a man in the future.
Sure.
Like one of my values for the show is integrity, nobleness, 100%. Humbleness of character. Y'all boys are the people like I really think help me become that man in the future. Hey,
That was beautiful.
Hey. Tell y'all where we find y'all.
Okay, y'all know I'm on IG. Life_Pablo G. That's what I'm at. Y'all gonna see me tagged up, so y'all good.
All right.
Moneyman Tim, y'all know where to follow me.
Fred.
No IG.
No IG whatsoever.
Hit him on phone number.
We not.
78.
Hey, y'all know where to find me. Echo of Vlad _. There's a lot of underscores going on. But I'm going to see you guys in the next time. I wish you all the best. And with the rest, God bless.
Peace.